welcome to into Metro Centre here in Newcastle. I'm back with the one and only legendary Mr. Gareth A. Davis. The duo is back together. Ritson, Robbie Davies Jr. in Newcastle. It's been a long time, Gareth. Let them know why you're excited about this fight.
Well, look, whenever there's British rivalry, British grudge fights, it really does get the juices flowing. We're also in a part of the country here in Newcastle where fight events sell out. It's a hotbed for boxing and mixed martial arts. From youngsters all the way to older people, they love their fight sports here. They love their sport. But as you say, Ritson, local lads, you know, fighting against Robbie Davies Jr. There's been a lot of heat between the two men, but also Ted Cheeseman against Scott FitzGerald, and we saw all the beef between Scott FitzGerald and Anthony Fowler that we enjoyed. Fitzy, the mad dog, came out of that with victory. Now he's got Ted Cheeseman. They're chomping away at the bit as well. Co-main and main events, they're going to deliver. But we've also got Savannah Marshall working out behind us, Commonwealth gold medalist. Second fight in 2 months. She's going to be out again by the end of the year if she's successful. We spoke to her back in London, didn't we?
We did indeed.
On the card back in July. So she's on it. Martin Okolie, the heavyweight's on the card against the old stalwart Kevin Johnson. It's just a busy card in the middle of a stacked season right now for boxing.
It is indeed. The year kind of started off a little bit slow, and then it kind of let's say like sowing some seeds. The seeds began to germinate.
Oh, it definitely started slow. There's no question about it. In fact, you and I were tapping our heels for a while, for 6 or 7 weeks, wondering what we were doing with ourselves. You know.
Indeed. But listen, Eddie's proved great, and there's been a plethora of great fights happening. I know people are pointing at me right now, asking me about these odds. But before we get to the odds,
yeah, before we get to the odds,
yes,
let's get to the sweetie herself.
Absolutely. Step on in.
Hey Sav, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good. You look very sharp there, very long when you were working out.
Yeah, I've been stretched.
So you've been stretched?
Yeah.
On the rack, yeah?
Yeah.
You do look taller. I say that every time I see you. I'm like your bad uncle. You've grown! You've grown!
Yeah, I haven't grown, but yeah, I've trimmed down a little bit. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling sharp. I'm ready to go.
You looked we were looking at you there, physically you look fantastic. Like say, leaner than you've been.
Yeah, exactly. I've just got a bra sponsor, so that's why I bumped about me bra.
Brilliant.
I guess, how's life been on the Matchroom? How's it been getting back out? You was out recently in London. What are you looking forward to this Saturday night in Newcastle?
Yeah, so I was out in August, so it's been a quick turnaround, which is good. The hardest part of this camp has just been maintaining the sharpness. But I've got an opponent, it's all locked in, so I'm just ready to go again on
Who
Saturday.
is it, Savannah? Because it was a TBC. Who is it?
Yeah, it's an American called Ashley Kerry. I can't remember her record, but she's a good girl, she's durable. She's had twice as many fights as me, so it'll be a good fight.
Because you put a number on Daniele Bastieri in July, and you fought her in the amateurs though, hadn't you, before?
Yeah, she was a really strong girl. Her record didn't show actually how good she was. She's a really good girl, Danielle.
I've got to ask you as well, we thought Claressa Shields would have fought by now, but there was that terrible incident at the weigh-in. What did you make of that, where there was a stray punch thrown on her 70-year-old coach?
I think it was horrific. To be fair, it had nothing to do with Claressa from what I've heard, so it's a big shame, and I think that she sent apologies to her coach, and it's just a shame that it had to be on to her on that show in her hometown, what she talks so much about.
Are you targeting her at some point next year?
Yeah, 100%. There's not that many girls at the super middle, so I would pass them across sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, like you said, you've had such a quick turnaround. Do you get any downtime between camp, like with such a quick turnaround?
No, I haven't this time. So I'm due a break.
You're itching to knock this one out and then move on to the next.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you're going to try and fight before Christmas as well, yeah?
Yeah.
What card would that be?
I'm not too sure at the minute, but I know that Huey's boxing again before the end of the year, so hopefully it might...
Fury, that is, yeah.
Yeah, Huey, so my teammate, so I'm hoping it might be on his undercard, maybe.
And obviously you're still training with Peter Fury, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he making you carry sheep up the hills around Lake Windermere and swim in the lake and do all those things that he makes Huey do, or not?
No, we've moved into the city now, so...
What a relief. What a relief.
There's none of that going on.
Because I wondered whether he was making you chop logs and run up the hills with sheep and wear your combat gear, and because I remember interviewing Huey about it, and he was like, oh God, my dad drives me to exhaustion.
No, but he had me swimming in Lake Windermere at one point.
How was that?
Horrific. It's awful. It's awful.
Is he in a little boat while you have to swim?
No, he was just stood on the side watching us.
Shouting at you?
Waiting out to get out until it was like an hour gone or something like that.
Wow.
Awful.
Wow, so what do you do, like 5K in that hour or something?
Well, I just used to wait till the water got dead black, and I used to just like walk like that on the floor. So I couldn't see.
The tricks of the trade,
Yeah,
eh?
I love it.
like that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Main event of this card, Lewis Ritson, Robbie Davies Jr. How do you see that? How do you see that fight panning out?
I think Lewis might be a bit too much, but I remember watching Robbie box Glenn Foot, and Glenn Foot is a big puncher, so it'll be a really interesting fight.
And there's a bit of juice between them as well heading into it.
Exactly, yeah.
What about Cheeseman and FitzGerald as well, the Mad Dog?
I'd love to see Cheeseman do it, because he's had a bit of a rough ride, but the way FitzGerald's having Fowler,
Fitzy looked really good in that fight,
that's what I
didn't he?
mean. I think he might be a bit too much for Ted.
Yeah, but he's under Jennings, used to be in a punk rock band, by the way. Michael Jennings, his coach. I went to see him fight Miguel Cotto at Madison Square Garden many years ago. Michael lasted 5 rounds. Under Michael Jennings, Fitzy seems to have tamed that mad dog stuff, and he looks really composed when he fights now, like a maturity.
He does, yeah, he looks really good.
Oh, Savannah, thank you so
do
much.
you, by
Yeah,
the
you
way.
do.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you
I've
so
always
much.
thought you look good. Don't nudge me like that. She just...
Listen, he'd keep you here. He'd keep you here forever.
Hey, listen,
He'd keep
I
you here
course I would. Sav just gave me that nudge, like, I'll see you later. Thanks
Take
very
care. Have a
much.
good one. Yeah, we'll see you
Cheers.
soon.
Thank you.
Oh,
I love Sav.
listen, don't we all?
I've loved Sav from the minute I met her when she was, when Sav was a teenager.
I was going to say since the day she was born and I cradled her in
No.
my arms.
not that far back, but when Sav was like 15, 16, 17, coming through the amateur teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, she fought at the London 2012 Games, where she was desperately disappointed where Clarissa Shields won the gold medal as the middleweight. There's always something amazing about Savannah, and it's so lovely, and I said it last time, to see her come through maturity and come through, to get to this point where she's so confident in herself now.
Absolutely. Now, for those of you that are just joining us, it's David Alorka here, back with the one and only Mr. Gareth A. Davis.
Should we do some odds?
In Newcastle. We should do some odds, but some people who just joined us don't know what's going on.
Okay,
All right?
okay.
They need to know where we are
They're just getting home
and what
from
we're doing
work.
here. Exactly.
Sorry, they're just
You see what
getting
I'm
out of
saying?
the office.
Exactly.
Putting their phones on.
You see what I'm saying, Gareth? So listen, tell them, what we're doing here.
Look, we've got a main event between Lewis Ritson and I keep wanting to say Scott FitzGerald, but Robbie Davies Jr, the Liverpudlian. A real heat between the two. They both want to come and deliver a massive scrap for the local crowd. It's a sell out of the Metro Radio Arena. Is it Metro Radio Arena?
I believe so.
And on co-main event, great scrap at light middleweight, or super welterweight as they call it now, between Scott FitzGerald and Ted Cheeseman. We know what they'll both do. Savannah Marshall, we've just been speaking to, she's got an opponent now. Very promising heavyweight on the card, Martin Okolie. He's worth a look at. So it's great fun. It's a great northern card, propped up by the massive interest that there is in the northeast for fight sports.
Absolutely. Now, you did mention odds a little while ago, so I'm going to hit them with some odds. Lewis Ritson's at 4-6 to win this fight, and Robbie Davies Jr. is at 6-5, so very, very close odds,
Yeah.
but with Lewis Ritson being the favourite, of course. The draw is at 20-1. What's your thoughts on those odds there?
Well, I think they're fair, and I think, since Lewis had his scare against Francisco Patera at lightweight, he's come up to what I call light welterweight, or super lightweight, as they call it.
You like throwing that? I know you like that.
Well, yeah, but for years I called it light welterweight. It's what Ricky Hatton fought
Yes.
at. I travelled the world with him fighting in that division, with us calling it light welterweight. at super lightweight, he's got that extra strength that he didn't have. He's not draining down. And also he's learning to defend as well as attack, because he was a very offensive fighter. And in Robbie Davies Jr, he's a very experienced fighter who's only lost once and avenged that defeat. He's got the ideal opponent to stretch him, and I expect this to be a very, very good fight.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Just to let guys know, the round-by-round betting, obviously, as you already know, and if you don't know, I'm going to let you know, we won't be beating on price of round-by-round betting. The best in the game at round-by-round betting. If you want to know the rounds that are the most likely in terms of the shortest odds, we've got Lewis Ritson's from round 6 to 8. Each of those rounds are at 16 to 1, so it means the bookmakers are looking at rounds 6 to 8 for a Lewis Ritson knockout. What are you saying for that? Yeah,
I mean, listen, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes to the wire, this fight, and they both kind of bring everything they've got. Davis is a very skillful boxer. We know what Lewis is. He likes to go to head and body, he likes to entertain, likes to attack. Wouldn't surprise me to see him get a late stoppage in this fight.
Okie dokie. Late stoppage, you're looking round 10 is at 22 to 1, round 11 is 25 to 1, and round 12 is 28 to 1. You also mentioned points. If Lewis is going to win this on points, it's 3 to 1.
Yeah. So but Davis is very durable, that's why. So
indeed. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. So joining us now is Mr. Lawrence Oswecki.
Oswecki, yeah.
Oswecki. Local lad?
Local lad, yeah, from North Shields.
9-0.
9-0, yeah.
Making it 10-0 on Saturday night.
100%.
Certified.
It's a great time to be a light heavyweight, isn't it?
Yeah, the division's booming at the minute. Like, just within Great Britain, there's loads that have seemed to have just sprung out of the woodworks from somewhere. They're everywhere, you know what I mean? So, but it's great for me, you know, because it gives you future big fights, you know what I mean? So it's great, domestic fights.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you fought on Lewis Ritson's last card, right?
That's right, yeah.
How was that?
Both, I was lucky enough last year to be on 2, so atmosphere has been great on both occasions. I've been lucky enough to get on both, so it's great.
Absolutely. Do you do any training with Lewis? Do you see him in and out of camp?
No, I don't actually train in the same gym as him, but obviously because he's local, we all kind of support each other, so...
Absolutely.
One of the things I was saying about this environment, this region, a lot of people didn't know this was happening here today, and they were, oh, what's this? And yet we've got a huge crowd here already, and the arena's already sold out, because all of you sell 1,000 tickets, because you've got so much support.
Yeah, people love boxing in Newcastle in the north.
And MMA.
And yeah.
Both. Yeah.
Both of them nowadays, and a lot of people are into MMA now. I don't personally follow it, I'm a boxing man.
Is it the dark side or not?
It's a maybe.
Do you do any groundwork when you have or not? Or should we keep that out? Or should we keep that out of this show?
But I prefer to stay on my feet, to be fair.
Yeah. No, the great thing about you is, and our viewers may not know this, you were in the GB squads at a time with Joyce and Anthony Joshua, Anthony Fowler,
Nicola Adams,
Natasha yeah, exactly. And you stayed amateur.
Yeah.
And are you 30 now?
31, yeah.
How come you stayed out of the pro game so long?
I mean, I started boxing when I was 19, which was a little bit late. There was a few other issues, but just the timing, you know, everything didn't quite go to plan. But like I say, although I'm 31, I'm quite a fresh 31-year-old.
Definitely.
I haven't had all them miles on the clock as a junior, so yeah, I don't think it's an issue at all.
What did you go away and do in that time then?
In the meanwhile, while I was just getting my license and I had an injury which I addressed, and I was working, you know, I was working full time at the time.
What were you doing?
I was working as a supply teacher in schools for a little bit.
Is it?
Brilliant,
Yeah,
brilliant.
I was doing a little bit of personal training as well. So I was actually coaching boxing in schools also. So
amazing, because famously up here in Peterlee, there used to be a school that was for boxing years ago.
Well,
is it still there?
Yeah, there is still an academy, but I think it's for college students, I think. So.
And they could study, they could do a GCSE in boxing.
Yeah,
I remember writing about it when it first came about a decade ago.
Yeah, I think it's an NVQ now, because I know Davey Binns, who's just got an award recently, he's the one who does that course. So
what do you teach? Everything? Or?
Well, I've done a degree in sports coaching, so like I've done a bit of everything really.
So you go in there and crack the whip and PE lessons?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think I'd be doing what you told me to do. I think all these kids here would be telling me they're not allowed on the show, but they would.
Where do you set your sights on in the light heavy division?
at this point in time, obviously, I'm concentrating on Ricky Summers and getting that win, and hopefully that pushes on for a British title somewhere down the line. I don't know if it's going to be 6 months, whatever, but I plan to go as far as I can go. But like I say, for now, I'm concentrating on Ricky Summers.
He's 16-2, isn't he? He's a very experienced campaigner. He's a good person for you at this stage in your career.
Exactly, yeah. So, like I said, I'm expecting a tough fight, but it's a fight I'm expecting to come out victorious, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and in terms of fighting for the British title, you think 2020?
Yeah, to be honest, before I got this opportunity, I didn't even realise this was going to be for a British title eliminator, so I was happy when I got that opportunity. I was looking at maybe an English title, even an area title, because I currently don't have any belts, so when I got the opportunity for a mandatory for a British title, I was extremely happy, so I'm already ahead of where I thought I was going to be at this point in time.
It's a really good division if you want to progress slowly or you want to progress quickly. Callum Johnson, Hosea Burton, Joshua Boatsi, Greg Richards, Anthony Yards. Yeah. You can see the next 4 years ahead, can't you?
There's plenty of people in the division to choose from, like you say.
That's no one from overseas. So
exactly, yeah. And like I said, in the last few years, there hasn't really been that. So I'm quite fortunate that I've got that opportunity now. Plenty of opposition, so it's great.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, finally, I'm going to ask a prediction on the main fight on the card. How do you see that going?
Well, I'm from the northeast, aren't I? So I'm going to go with Ritson. But at the same time, I'm friends with Robbie Davies also. But either way, I think it's going to be an exciting fight either way, whichever way it goes. I'm kind of supporting them both, but I've got to support, obviously, Lewis Ritson because I'm from the northeast.
Absolutely. Stoppage?
It's a hard one. I'm going probably more of I'm going points, to be honest, with Ritson. That's what I'm going for.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well,
thank you very much.
Lawrence went for points there. That's a 3-1 on our odds. 3-1.
That's Lawrence Osueki. Yeah, I got it right first time.
You did.
Do you know where the origin of that name is?
No, it's an African name, but it's it could
Nigerian,
be possibly Nigerian. Possibly Nigerian. I'm surprised you didn't ask that question actually. You might have been. I think you might have been on your way to asking it. Very
fast. You can tell that guy. He's fast, youthful. Even though he's 31, he's so youthful. Like you said, no miles on the clock. Very interested to see how he progresses.
Absolutely. Like I said, 9 wins, 1 by KO. Ricky Summers, 16 wins.
2 losses.
Yeah, 2 losses, 5 wins by knockout.
Yeah.
How tough is this fight for him?
Yeah, it is. Look, Summers is very experienced. He's coming late in his career. He's testing himself to see how good he can really be. It's a good test for him. I expect him to get the job done.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Glorious. Absolutely. Now, for those that have just joining us once again, David Alorka here, back with the one and only Mr. Gareth A. Davis in Newcastle, at the Into Metro Centre. I think this is the biggest shopping centre in the United Kingdom.
We're painting this place black and white at the moment.
We are, without a shadow of a doubt. Or we're painting it blue and yellow, mate. Blue and yellow. It's been fantastic, hasn't it been so far?
Blue and yellow.
Yeah, listen, we got to stay on brand and ready. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you don't know, by looking at these mics, by looking at me, you should know straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? But don't worry. Inside all of these houndstooths right here is a little William Hill up and down. So don't worry, he's getting you guys by subliminal.
I've got a little badge inside there. Yeah.
He's getting you guys by subliminal without a shadow of a doubt. Listen. Brilliant fight card on Saturday night. A fantastic fight card for the Northeast here in Newcastle. What do you love about fights in the Northeast?
Well, it's the passion of the people. The passion they have for fight sports. The fact they want to come out and support their people. They never... It's like they're their own country, their own republic. You get it in Liverpool, you get it in Ireland, and you get it with the Geordies. And that doesn't even though there's a rivalry with Sunderland, even the fighters from Sunderland and Newcastle get such strong support here. Like you say, we got probably 400 or 500 people here enjoying this already. They don't want to go home. They don't want the shopping centre to close. They've all got their phones out. They're all really enjoying it. And so they should. Because until Lewis Ritson and Josh Kelly came along, obviously 2 lads from the northeast under Eddie Hearn's matchroom outfit, we hadn't had fights up here for a long time. I remember coming up for Joe Calzaghe and Robin Reed, for Amir Khan and Dimitri Salito, who's now a promoter, but there haven't been a lot of cards up here. So it's brilliant they've got local heroes to bring everyone out, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. It's a very, listen, that was a very, 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 very well versed rap you just gave them right there. I'm gonna put it better myself. That's right.
I can't hear you at the moment.
I know you can't because they're booming right behind us, but don't worry.
Booming.
See that we've got mics. They can definitely hear us. We have stepping in with us in just seconds right now is the one and only Mr. Joe Lawn. In fact,
let's bring him in.
Yeah. Oh. Bring him in.
Stand on his toes. Stand on his toes. Now, we had a bit of toe standing just now, didn't we?
By toe, didn't we?
Exactly. Toe wars.
Yeah. It was a bit like a farm war going on between you two there. I was afraid he was going to break your toes and have to pay out for the insurance. Are you looking forward to Saturday?
Oh, can't wait, like I say. The hard work's done now. The training, the sparring. I've made weight this morning, so now it's just stay chill, stay nice and sharp, and get the job done Saturday.
It's nice that you made weight already, because one of the big things at the moment in fight sports is the concern about weight cutting, about not increasing by more than 10 or 15% of your body weight when you're fighting, so that you're not taking too much out of your system.
Definitely will. There's more injuries now in boxing, and I think that's because people absolutely kill themselves to make weight. Like, for a while I'm tiny, but I always feel strong there, know what I mean? And I believe if you're good enough, you're big enough to
There's people your frame boiling down to 130, 135.
Easy.
Lee Selby's taller than you. Look how long he kind of burnt down, and it probably affected him in the long term.
He did, but you see me back. I've got a big back.
Show him the back.
Go on,
yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's all that lateral pull down.
Do you know what?
That's the lateral pull down and pull-ups.
Do you know what? It's a big. Sorry.
Yeah, no, listen, I was about to wax lyrical about his gym routine. You know it. It's them pull-ups.
Lat pull down, pull-ups.
See what I'm saying?
Muscle-ups.
No. Oh, you bang some muscle-ups.
Oh.
Do you know what it's right for? You know what your back is right for as well? No, a big tattoo.
Oh, what?
You haven't got any yet?
I haven't. I'm a tattoo virgin. I don't know why. I'm scared of needles.
Oh, right, okay.
Have you got any tattoos?
No.
No, neither have I.
No.
That's very sad.
Hey, I'll tell you why, because I'm so old that when people got tattoos in my generation, they were really drunk, and they normally got love hates and anchors all up their arms.
Love hearts with mam in the middle.
Exactly, love hearts and mam in the middle. Or stupidly, the girl you'd met that night. Or the girl you'd met that night tattooed on your arm. In some port somewhere.
Oh my days. Hey, Joe, for those that haven't seen you box, why should they tune in on Saturday night to see you fight? What's your style like?
You should tune in because my style is exciting, I'm aggressive, and from the off I come out fighting, whether I win, lose or draw. Even amateurs, I came out fighting in this game's an entertainment business, and I'm one entertaining fighter.
Absolutely. How far can you see yourself going in the sport?
I want to go all the way. I believe if you do anything in life, you do it at your best ability and you get 100%. So if I give you 100%, there's no reason why I can't bring ties back to Bramble, Newcastle, the best town, the best city on earth.
Let him know.
The best town, the best city on earth.
Oh yes, you heard it.
And it is. And obviously, Lewis Ritson might be a target for you going forward.
Yeah, well, at the minute he's got a tough fight in Robbie Davies Jr.
How do you see that?
A proper 50-50 fight, like, and I know Lewis from amateur days, cracking lad, speak to, cracking fighter. And I know Robbie as well, cracking lad, cracking fighter. I think that fight is a proper domestic good 50-50.
And how do you, if you were to predict what happens, how do you see it?
Who turns up on the night? I believe that honestly it's a good 50-50 fight.
I've got a late stoppage for Ritson if he gets his tactics right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say what? You got what? You've got a late stoppage for Ritson.
Yeah, I've got if Ritson gets his game right. Listen, Robbie Davies is a very experienced practitioner, but I just think that home crowd means so much as well, doesn't it? It gives you an extra round or two.
It goes like in a hard fight, like if it gets in a hard fight in the later rounds, and Lewis has got like 7,000 people screaming for him. That's going to like give him that boost of energy what he needs. And I think if it is going to be a hard fight, what better place to have it in Newcastle Arena on his doorstep in front of, I think he sold personally 2,000 tickets. So the amateur arena is going to be electric.
How did you get into boxing, Joe? How did you want to become a pro? Talk us through growing up. And
yeah, well, I was always a fat kid growing up.
Really?
Yeah. When my brother boxed, my dad boxed, my granddad boxed, it was always in the
Pro?
No, just amateur, but we were just massive boxing fans. And my dad used to take us all over the world, Las Vegas, watching the UFCs, watching the boxing.
Really?
And
so it's in your blood?
Yeah. I turned 13, 14, and my brother had his first fight.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, and it was some smelly social club, smoke all over. And the atmosphere while you brung, I was like, yeah, I want this. And ever since that day, I walk in the gym. I've never been naturally gifted at anything, but I've worked hard. And I've had my fair share, setbacks, injuries, but now I'm on the big stage in front of like thousands of my fan supporters. And I'm loving life. I'm a young kid living his dream.
Which boxers do you look at, or in history do you look at that inspire you?
When I was growing up, mate, and I was really hard. He was my all-time car.
Well, he was brilliant at 140 pounds.
Oh, he was, yeah. The way he fought, he handled himself, he was down to earth, he never changed. And what a fighter. When he went
Have you met him?
No, I haven't. When he went over Las Vegas to play Mayweather, the crowd he brought it, the way and everything, like that night will go down history.
And how far can you take this? You play down your own talents, but it's all about timing and self-belief and how you develop in your career. How far can you take this?
Yeah, well, if I stay dedicated, I'll be able to go all the way. But I think too many fighters that aren't mentally strong. Like
You've clearly got that.
Like worst case scenario, in the next 2 years, I get beat, I get caught, I get clipped. That's not the end of the Belmont Bomber. I'll watch your back, I'll regroup, I get straight back in the gym, and I'll come back fighting. My career has just started, know what I mean? I've got 5 years left fighting this. Like, wins, losses, draws, means nothing, but I'm here to stay.
It's great to meet you. Thank you very much. Cheers, brother. Thank you very much. Joe Law's there. What a great young character he is, with an amazing back.
Fantastic. Joe, let me get you real quick. Let me ask you a quick question, yeah? Quick question. Are you coming into the song I Fought the Law and the Law Won?
No, I'm coming to Country Roads. It's a...
Hey, Country Roads, yeah?
Country Roads.
Take me home.
Take me home, Country Roads.
To the place I belong.
Oh, West Virginia. Mountain Mama.
Take me home. Country Roads.
Yes.
Love it. Oh, listen. A raucous applause over there right now, just after the back of that. If you don't know Country Roads, check it out. A really beautiful song. But you know what? Having them come into I Fought the Law and the Law Won would be absolutely lit.
I fought the law and the law won.
Tell them.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them. Well, obviously, I left you there for a few moments there. How was that?
Yeah, it was very good. He's a fascinating character, great self-belief, and who... It's just, he said, I'm a young bloke who I wasn't good at anything else, but I found I was good at this, and I'm just living the dream, and it's brilliant to hear.
I love it, and you can just see the smile on his face, the joy he has fighting, you know, even just having this open workout amongst these people is absolutely incredible. For those of you that are just joining us, David Alorka, Gareth Davis, live and direct into Metro Centre in Newcastle, the biggest shopping centre in the entire United Kingdom, for the Ritson versus Robbie Davies Jr. fight card that's happening on Saturday night. Now, I know you're wondering, what are the odds on this fight? Who are we calling? Who's the bookmakers calling? I'll let you know who they're calling. Ritson's in at 4-6 favourite for this fight. Robbie Davies Jr. at 6-5. Very, very tight, very close to being evens there for Robbie Davies Jr. The bookmakers have rounds, like I said to you before, William Hill will not be beaten on round by round betting. The best odds on the market. The shortest odds on this is around 6-8, 16-1. The Lewis Ritson to win on points is at 3-1. To let you guys, I know some of you guys are wondering, so what about Robbie Davies Jr. odds? Yeah, I'll hit them with some Robbie Davies Jr. odds, because obviously it's a very, very close fight, and like you said, a lot of people said it's a 50-50 fight. Robbie Davies Jr. to win this fight, the shortest between rounds 5 to 8, which are at 28-1. I know on my left-hand side we've got someone waiting in the wings.
Coming in.
Waiting in the wings.
The Mad Dog himself.
The Mad Dog from Preston.
Hi boys, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah,
the last time we saw you, You were preparing.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Exactly. We were in Liverpool, and you did your number on Anthony Fowler. And weirdly, I've been saying ever since, it's almost like you put the last pieces into the jigsaw puzzle in that fight.
Yeah.
But I've seen even more from you watching your videos and the little documentaries ever since, stuck in that back room at Michael Jennings' house. You know, really living the dream now.
Yeah.
Really being a pro.
Yeah.
And like, it's almost like you're fulfilling your maturity, Scott.
Yeah, I feel I've matured a lot. Since turning 27, I just woke up and I've matured, I felt, and even more so after that fight, and I've learnt a lot even since then, and you know, I've fully dedicated myself, gone staying with Mick for 11 weeks, and I don't know about living the dream, but I've been living the life I need to live, and
yeah, but surely that is the sacrifice, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
I've sacrificed and put myself in a great position, and I've never trained as hard, I've never felt as fit, punching harder than ever, and I'm, you know, ready to go in there and fulfill a dream in winning the British title.
It's about patience for you against Cheeseman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Ted, I don't want to be rude to Ted, but Ted wants to do one thing.
Yeah.
He's almost too brave for his own good.
Yeah, you could say that. He might be trying something different on Saturday, but he's game, always fit, tough as they come, and strong. So, but I feel I've got an answer for anything he brings, and
I suppose the one thing is he'll be on his mettle because of what happened against Sergio Garcia, where he had a setback, and it's just sharpened him a little bit more. So you're expecting the best of him, of course.
Yeah, of course. You know, he's bound to have been working on things, and I've trained for like I'm fighting the best fighter in the world anyway. So I'll be ready for anything he brings, and have an answer for whatever he brings.
What weaknesses do you see in him?
I don't want to give away that really on camera.
He gets drawn into a war if you want to draw him into a war, and it's one that would suit Scott, I think, stylistic. I'm not going. I don't know. I don't want your game plan. I'm going to tell him. so he's gonna box. He's gonna fight Cheeseman when Cheeseman boxes. And he's going to box Cheeseman when Cheeseman fights.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens on the night. But
that's my prediction anyway.
I have more than one plan. Whatever he brings, I've got an answer for, like I say. But I'm punching very hard, and I wouldn't want to be on the end of them. And I think once he starts feeling them, he does keep coming through them. He's some man.
Didn't you hit Jennings the other day by mistake? Nearly knock him out?
Yeah, not by mistake. Caught him with an elbow, didn't I?
Oh, the elbow. That's right. Yeah, you cut him, didn't you?
No, I never cut him, boy.
You should have done the job properly then.
Next time.
Have you ever got him to get the drums out from his old punk band?
Yeah, I actually went sparring about 2-3 weeks ago over in Bolton with Jack Cullen, and they had like a studio room there. They had Dave Jennings on the guitar, Mick Jennings on the drums, and another lad playing some other thing. I was getting warmed up to it, and nice. Good buzz, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, got me going.
Well, I see you're out here sporting your team there, Preston
North End doing very well.
All day, every day.
Yeah, doing very well.
The first club, listen,
nice.
Just to remind them Arsenal fans out there that are always talking smack, the first club to do it unbeaten.
Exactly, the real Invincibles, man.
Let them know, the real.
Yeah, the real Invincibles.
Yeah, exactly.
And I win the British title, and we go up to the Prem this year. It's a good year. When I won the Commonwealth Gold, I walked around the pitch the first game of the season. Back then when they were in League One, and they got promoted that year, so get me on with my British next week, and this year they get to the Prem finally.
Straight up and down, and obviously, like you said, they went unbeaten. Are you looking to stay unbeaten?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not scared ever to lose. You know, I want to be in real fights. You know, I would have been from the off really. I need real fights to get me up for it, but it's nice to keep that all in it, and bigger things can come then. So I'll do everything I can to never get beat.
What's your projection after this? Where would you like to be going? I mean, you're with a great kind of promotional outfit, Matchroom. There are so many opportunities. You can fight in Italy, the UK, America. There's so many prospects.
I'll tell you what, I want some of that Italy, America. I want to go and get a bit of sun, but I would like to win the British title outright for sure. That's something I really want. I'm also interested in fighting Garcia for the European. I was ringside for Ted Garcia. I think I can beat him. So defences, trips to Italy, trips to America, and European title shots are on the horizon, I hope.
Listen, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Can I just ask you as well?
Go on, hit him.
What do you think about KSI and Logan Paul being put on a professional
He loves this
boxing
question.
card?
He loves this one.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but they've got a lot. I think they've got a big, massive following through
20 million each.
Yeah, through these YouTube blogs and that. So you know, it's how can someone like Eddie not want to get involved with that? You know, it can't be a bad thing if he's drawing in a lot of fans that might carry on following boxing. I don't really know, but I'll probably tune in anyway and have a watch.
Can we throw the odds at him and see what he thinks?
All right, we can do.
Here's
do
the
that.
odds on your fight.
Whoa, I haven't got the
tell
odds.
us whether you agree.
I haven't got the odds on his fight yet. We'll have that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But I've got the odds on. In fact, before I even give you the odds, how do you see the Ritson and Robbie Davies going?
They're both wicked fighters. I remember having my first amateur fight, and I got chatting to a curly-haired lad in the changing rooms before it, and he was 10-0, and then I didn't realise who he was for years, and it turned out he was Robbie Davies Jr. So he's always been around the circuit with me, and I've seen Ritson dominate, you know, destroy people at lightweight. He's now come up, and it just makes for a wicked fight. I think Ritson's looking quite big at that weight now, and I'll be interested. I'll hopefully be able to get back and watch it quick enough. You know, last time I, you know, getting took by drugs testers and that, and never got a chance to. So I'd like to hopefully get back and watch that.
Absolutely.
So who wins it then?
He weren't gonna let you go.
Draw.
Okay. It could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
Davis is a very smart boxer.
Yeah.
And Lewis wants a tear up.
Yeah.
And he's learning, isn't he, not to have a tear up the entire. He'll have learnt a lot from his friends Cisco Patera.
He'd be a great scout for either one of them.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah. Lovely.
Well, thank you so much. The draw's at 20-1, by the way.
All right.
And Lewis Ritson win is at 4-6. While Robbie Davies Jr. win is at 6-5.
All right.
Very close. Very close.
Yeah.
Do you think you should be marginal favourite against Ted?
I'm not bothered, you know. Last time when I was 5.5-1, it infuriated me, you know. I got everyone who'd listen. I was like, get your money on me. And a lot of people want money all over and around Preston buying me presents. I've got a lot of bottles of aftershave from the back of that. So.
It's funny, you know, because when we interviewed you in Liverpool and you left, I remember saying to Dave, he's got this mentally.
Yeah.
Because you were there, you were there.
I was focused, and I was.
It's a moment in your career, isn't it? That you'll always be able to look back on.
It was a big moment, but I was confident. But if I'm honest, I was still, from the way I'd performed in earlier fights, still had a little bit of doubt of whether I did belong there in the Olympics and
stuff. You clearly did.
Yeah, and
you clearly did.
And after the third round, I just thought, I'd felt his punches, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to stomp you down now and see what you can do, the machine. And you know, he can hit harder than an average man, but you know, it was nothing that bothered me. Obviously, he hit me with a shot in the 9th round, but my legs were always under me.
But there's nothing more beautiful in boxing than seeing someone enact their game plan and it working so perfectly, which it did for you.
Yeah. My game plan was just
precision.
Do not lose.
You were precision. You were precision.
Yeah. And I did what it took to get that win, and I'll do that every time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any means necessary.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, in a bit.
Scott.
Mr. Preston North End.
Very
you know what I'm saying?
so, yeah.
I know you got a lot of love for Arsenal. I know you're not a football man, but I know you got a lot of love for Arsenal. But you know what I mean?
Well, I covered them for 4 years, so I was around Arsene Wenger when he first came, and you know, David Seaman, Tony Adams, Martin Keown, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, Overmars, Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp, they all became friends, you know. So, you know, it was a great time. That was a double winning side.
Yeah.
2 doubles.
You turned them again.
Didn't they do 96? 2002?
98 double. Yeah, with Ian Wright.
Double.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, honestly, funny enough, all I've got to say is, in just a few moments, we're going to be having Mr. Robbie Davies Jr. with us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which means we're nearish at the tail end of this stream. It's been fantastic, hasn't it?
It has, and I just want to. We've got loads of questions coming in.
What we got there?
And hang on. Oh, I'm just going to pick a winner. There we go. And it's Ibby. That's Ibby54289849. I hope I haven't just read your number out. Who do you think will win this fight? In my opinion, it's Ritson because of the home crowd backing him. Well, I've just said that to Scott FitzGerald, that one of the big things for Lewis, just before we speak to Robbie, is that this home crowd. Let's ask him about how the home crowd's going to affect him.
Yeah, step on in.
There he is, Liverpool's finest.
Liverpool's finest. I will be. The one and only Mr. Robbie Davies Jr. Robbie, how was that?
It was good. It was good. It was good to just get out here and showcase a bit to the local fans. So I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. How does it feel
being in? Spitting on you tonight, but they will be in a couple of days' time.
Making the most of the smiles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take it in at 10.
These are the gentle shoppers, remember? These are the kids on their way home. The mum's taking the kids home. The dad's picking them up. The vague fans, these aren't the ones going to be screaming.
Literally, when we got in the ring, my coach went, "Hey, you never got booed there." I went, "This is all the families, don't forget."
Exactly.
Don't worry, we still got to do the weigh-in.
All the Sunday League football teams will be there on Saturday.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, the first question is, how does it feel being in enemy territory? I know you just kind of touched on it now, but as you know, it's going to be a little bit more intense on Saturday night. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it'll be a bit hostile, but I've said in interviews before that once you get in that ring, it's only used to, and you're that focused and that switched on that you don't hear the crowd. You're focused for them full 3 minutes on just you and your opponent. Everything else just is pretty much a blur. The only thing I'll probably notice is the ring entrance, and when I'm leaving the ring, that's when you feel it.
Obviously, there's quite well documented beef between you both as a result of the last event and the kind of, I'll say, it was almost like a mic drop insult from each other. But how does it feel to be in enemy territory? Did you get, because you are in enemy territory, he's going to have a lot of support. Does that get the best out of you when you got your back against the wall?
I feel that when the pressure's on you more, it puts you against
sharpens you.
It focuses your mind more, and you think like, I've got to put that extra 10% gears in, knowing that he's going to have that crowd to lift him every time it gets tough, where I've just got to be mentally strong and lift myself and listen to my corner, and it's definitely put me in the best frame of mind I've ever been in going into a fight this intense.
Talk us through the beef between each other, because prior to, tell us what happened. What did you call him?
How did this
originally,
like, kicked us off in it, was you in it?
Originally, yeah, it was a bit of a miscommunication with me and my manager, because at the time I was British and European champion, and they were talking about the fight, and ahhing, where it's going to be, things like that, and I was like, my manager went, "They don't want it in Liverpool though." So I'd already went straight on my Twitter and put, "Oh, here it is, they want the fight, but Lewis Ritson doesn't want it in Liverpool." My manager rings me back and goes, "I didn't mean Lewis, I meant Matchroom, like, it sells better in Newcastle." And I was like, well, if it's happening, it's brought a bit of like intensity to the fight. Everyone's caught the imagination of everyone, so I thought, I'm not deleting it now, might as well leave it. And then it just built from there. Lewis had to go at me, and then we retaliated, and then it sold out an arena. So
it was that very, very viral video of he just finished his fight, or you just finished your fight, and you walk away. What did you call him?
What was that?
What was it?
I've been crucified with this word. Like, I don't even say this. Like, and I didn't know them cameras were there, so I could have said absolutely anything. So, and then he was arguing with my coach. He said something to me, but I was like, "I've got a fight coming up, just ignore him." And my coach couldn't bite his lip. He shouted something. Then Lewis spun round, started having a go with my coach, and then I backed my coach up then and said, "What are you saying, you melt?" And ever since I've said that, I'm walking down the shops and they go, "Robbie, you melt!" even in a nice way, and I'm like,
I love it.
Christ.
I love it. Now listen, this is a bit of a side question going on here, right? I don't know if you know, we're live obviously on William Hill. We're also live on Matchroom Boxing, but we're also live on IFL TV.
Yeah.
And obviously people on IFL TV, they're excited, they're gassed up, they're looking forward to this fight, they're looking forward to the night, looking forward to seeing you out there. But there's another thing that's got them a little bit excited today. Gareth doesn't even know what this is. It's my scarf, mate. They're talking about my scarf live and direct.
What do you think of it?
On IFL TV.
I thought you were going to say you were going to get a Liverpool scarf out or something then.
Yeah, I
thought he was going to be on my side, but no.
Oh, come on, give your rundown. Give it a Master Chef rundown.
Fashion's fashion. If he thinks it looks good, he feels good, then it is good.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, swagger.
It's coordinated, I'll give it that. And it's big.
Blue, yellow.
Let me tell you, this
sort of gear doesn't come by mistake.
It don't.
When we leave a bar late at night and we got away with the train, I normally take it off him and sleep under it.
Look, got to be done. Gold on the socks, gold on the boots, gold.
Colour coordinating. We know what's going on.
It's the youth. It's the youth.
I'm saying.
Don't worry about it.
Look, the scarf is so good. The scarf is so good. Even Eddie put a picture on his Instagram. You know what I mean? With me and the scarf. That's how real the scarf is.
Are you a scarf man?
I'll be honest, I'm not. I'm more one of them little snuggy things that you pull over
the snuggy. I see you. If you beat, well, taking it back to the fight, saying you beat Ritson on Saturday, what's next for Mr. RDJ?
I always take one fight as it comes, so I never want to look past an opponent, but get the win on Saturday night, and hopefully I've got to be somewhere close to a world title shot, even if it's not a world title fight in my next fight, which I would love. It's got to be like a final eliminator or a former world champion or a big name where everyone knows someone, to really get the taste buds going for absolutely everyone.
Absolutely. Now this could be a very, very big weekend. Gareth was trying to get in there, but it's one of them opportunities that I just got in there before him. You know what I mean? This could be a very, very big weekend for you. You're fighting Lewis Ritson.
Yeah.
Manchester United's got Liverpool as well on Sunday. You see what I'm saying? We've got a nice little cheeky double for them. You see what I'm saying? For all of your fans out there. You KO Ritson and Liverpool to beat Man United at Old Trafford on Sunday, 13-2.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Do you think you might get the KO in this fight?
Do you know what? I don't like to make predictions because I feel I'm very superstitious, and I feel like if I say it won't happen and things like that. But I honestly feel I'm in the best preparation and the best form I've been in a long time. So even when some people go off me last fights, even when I've won them and I haven't performed to the best of my ability, this is a fight where I really feel like I'm at my best, and I feel like it's going to be my time to shine.
Absolutely. I just want to put it on record just quickly before we look at Gareth. I got him. You know what? I don't usually get him.
We need the buzzer. We need the buzzer.
I got him. I'm just going to put it on record. It's not a question. I'm just going to put it on record for all those that are watching. I'm a Man United fan, so it burns me.
Anyway.
it burns me to know. Do you know what I mean? That's very, very possible from that perspective.
Because you know how Liverpool are on fire, so I'm just here to carry it on.
Liverpool 3-0. Anyway, what I did want to ask you was, there's another big light welterweight, what I call light welterweight, super lightweight fight next weekend. Regis Prograis against Josh Taylor. Is that a place you can project yourself towards as well?
If I win on Saturday night and the opportunity comes up, it's a fight to snatch Eddie's hand off in a heartbeat. Definitely something I'll be looking forward to. Hand on my heart, I'd have to say I think Josh Taylor will come away with the win just beyond pure boxing IQ. I think he's that all-round fighter a bit more, where I think Regis Prograis being in London, which is more towards Josh's hometown, I think he'll go out looking to land the big bombs, and I think Josh Taylor will just pick away at him and creep away with a punch win.
I see it slightly differently, and I think Josh has got to be really on game plan in this fight, because the trouble with Josh is a brilliant technical boxer like yourself. You know, he can fight and box, whatever the demand of him. But the problem is, and you're much more disciplined in this way, he gets drawn into a tear-up, Josh, and he doesn't want to get drawn into one with Regis. Because we've seen what he's done with very dangerous high-level opponents. I think Regis has that slightly freakish power as well. Yeah, and I think Josh has got to stay ahead in rounds, stay ahead.
He's very big legs. Power comes from his legs and his back. Regis Prograis, he looks like a pretty solid puncher. He's always based to the floor very well. But I think Josh, with his movement and boxing IQ, if he can just keep him at range and, like you said, not get dragged into a fight.
You know why I'm saying all this?
I think he will come out.
I think it's a very similar technical fight to you and Lewis, with you being Josh and him being Regis, because presumably what you want to do with Lewis is make him reckless. Let him be reckless. Do you know what I mean?
You're trying to give my game plan away.
I just know my boxing.
Whose team are you on here?
I just know your styles, you know? But it makes for a brilliant fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Everyone loves the boxing and knows the boxing. Everyone, when they see boxer v puncher, it's the perfect clash of styles. So
it's just a shame that the beef isn't real.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
And we'll see you throughout the week anyway. So maybe tomorrow for sure. Cheers. Yep, that's right. We are here for most of this fight. We will be back at the press conference tomorrow. We've got Lewis Ritson coming up in just a second, but just letting you guys know, it ain't over. Listen, the content ain't over today. The content continues. How's it going, Gareth? How was that?
No, just saying, you know, we come to a lot of what we call these smaller shows. They're not really small. But what is self-evident from all the interviews today, with what great shape all these fighters are, how much they're looking forward to taking part in this event. And I just think we're going to have a special night. And what we call, there are a load of sleepers on this card. There are a load of, a little bit of pushing and shoving it. Now, can we have an interview before this? Can we have an interview before it all kicks off? Yeah. I don't want to stop the shopping centre fights. Oh, you gave him a little shove there.
He wouldn't get out the way. I don't know what I meant to do.
How are you, Lewis?
I'm very good at it, yeah.
Clearly up for it.
I'm up for it, you know. It's there's a lot on this fight, and I'm just ready to rock and roll now.
How's the family?
Family's absolutely spot on, you know. I'm away from them 6 times a week out of 7, you know, and it's hard at times, but you know, when on Saturday we're reaping the rewards of that.
Absolutely. Now, we were here a while earlier, your European title fight. How's it been, and what have you learned since that fight against Francesco Patero?
I've learned absolutely loads, you know. Out of me 100 amateur fights and me only professional, that's probably been the worst night of my career, probably one of the worst performances as well, but down to way, but I'm not going to make excuses. A better man won of the night, and this Saturday we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Has he reached out to you at all? Have you spoken to him since that fight?
No, I've never spoken to him. Like I say, it's boxing, we're fighting men, you know, it's just one of them. Sadly, we've got the loss on the night, and Patero's carried on with his career and doing quite well. And we're, you know, not starting from scratch again, but we're down at the bottom of the pile. Got to beat Robbie and we'll get back to the top of that pile, and that's what we're planning to do. Straight up and down. Now, obviously, you're a passionate, die-hard Newcastle fan. You know what I mean? How are you feeling about Newcastle this season? Oh, come on. We've had a good little workout.
You beat Man United?
We've had a good workout, then you've just put with that. Yeah, but it's the teams around with that we need to beat. You know, it's all right beating Man U and getting the points at Tottenham, but it's the teams around with that are hammering, and we're really near the teams that we need to win. So hopefully, you know, I'm not going to slay Bruce Anya. He's got a hard job, and hopefully he can turn it around and get the supporters behind him.
Absolutely. Has the extra £5, I mean, physically you look so much better with that extra 5, probably a little bit more right now, but those extra £5 on you, you just seem fuller.
Yes, well, you know, today, 2 litres of fluid, breakfast, dinner, whereas last year, I didn't have nothing to eat for about a week and a half, starving myself, making myself be sick. I was doing all sorts of 9 stone 9 limit. And the £5, you'll see on Saturday how much it's made a difference to it.
And, you know, I mean, I've always chatted to you about your style. We love your fighting style. And I suppose it's tempering the aggressive intents that you have with your defence and not being too reckless, presumably. And that's what Lewis needs to learn to become a world champion.
No, well, that's what it is. You know, like it's. And before I went to Fano, it was the same in sparring. I would take one and think, oh, he can't hurt us. Running in, boom, 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 and Fano's going defence. And I go, oh, he doesn't hurt us.
Yeah.
And he was the only one that was telling us the step between British and European. He says, you're not be hurting these kids, and these be hurting you. And I used to think, nah, whatever, Fano, they're not going to hurt me. I'm a fighting man, I'm a warrior. And, you know, we've seen with the Patero, I bet he shot nearly, if it wasn't in front of 9,000 Geordies, I would have probably been on my hands and knees counting out. So that's one good thing of being at home, the crowd there. It can drive you on.
It's an extra round or two.
Yes, it can drive you in that way. And we're just looking really forward to it.
Because if you don't blow your load early in your career, look at the fights there are. Like, I mean, next weekend, Regis Progress and Josh Taylor, there's so many big fights out there for you down the line.
No,
big fights.
Very big fights, and fights that are set you up for life, you know, out of the ring. So, and that's what, you know, I'm one of them, you know, when I first joined Neil Fallon, now money doesn't mean nothing to me. And he sat me down and he went, look, you've got a family there, you want to secure your little daughters, like, exactly. and that's the way I'm thinking now. So if I have to take a back step in that boxing ring and not take one and take a step back, and people might go, oh, he's not exciting as what he used to be, well, you know, that's the way it's got to be now.
Absolutely. Is there it's a question that many people have asked, is there a genuine bad blood between you two?
Nah, I don't think there really is. Well, not on my half anyway, you know. I done an interview with Boxing Social, come out that he had knocked the fight back twice, which he opened himself, but it was because he didn't have enough time. And I think he just took it personally, really. You know, I'm laid back as can be. Me, I'm just, you know, I'm smiling. I'm a bit of this, bit of that, and I think he took it a little bit personal. So it is what it is. And on Saturday night, I'm sure we'll punch each other for a good few rounds, and then after we'll give each other, like everyone does, the handshake and the cuddle, and we'll all be best mates again.
Absolutely. You got a tattoo on your chest?
Yes.
Yeah?
Big angel. So, to be fair...
Can we see it?
You can see it if you want to see it, yeah.
Amazing. Wow.
6.5 hours, one sitting.
In one sitting?
Yeah,
that's a lot of needles.
That's a lot of needles. Do you know what it is? It come because my friend had dared us to get on my back, and I went, I'll do one better, I'll get on my chest. And he went, no, you're not. And
is it really sore around the nipple area?
Yes, it is. That's why. So when I got there, the tattooists, not to my known, had all bet each other £200 each how long I was going to sit.
6.5 hours.
And none of them thought I was going to sit through it.
Are you serious?
And I did.
Excruciating pain?
Oh yeah, I live 10 minutes away from the tattoo shop. It took us an hour and 20 minutes to walk home.
It's walking on like this.
And you've been creaming ever since.
So, but you know, I like it. It looks good when I'm in there, and it's a bit unusual. No one else has it, does it? So it's good. 2 predictions from you. Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor. I think Taylor's going to stop him late, me. You know, wow. I really do. I don't think many people are thinking that, but I think Taylor's size, he looks a little bit bigger than him, and I think once he starts pushing him back, I think the kid will get a little bit of a shock. And Lewis Ritson versus Robbie Davies Jr. Just another explosive performance from me again, and one now, that's me. What about the odds?
But the question is, obviously you're the Sandman. Is he going to sleep?
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
Let's try the odds on you because they are interesting.
All right, I'll hit him with the odds. All right, give me 2 seconds. Let me
because 1 minute is for the next arm fit, what I've been told. So, you know, to be fair, it is a 50-50 fight. You know, I'll give Robbie's a bag of tricks. He can come forward, he can box, he can spoil a little bit on the inside. So, what about the stances? Are you bothered by that at all? No, I've been sparring Lee Selby. I've done lots and lots of rounds with Lee Selby, who's switch hitting. I've done welterweights for welterweights, like middleweights, lightweights. I've done 100 and odd rounds of spawn for this, 8 different spawn partners. The style, we think, you know, the problem is when he turns southpaw, we're still able to hit him with a jab. And I think if we can still hit him with a jab when he's southpaw, I think then that's half the battle won.
Absolutely. Now, just hitting you with the odds real quick. You are favourite, 4-6. Favourite, Robbie Davies Jr. is at 6-5 to win the fight. A draw is at 20-1. Somebody predicted a draw today. I can't remember who it was. I think they were just trying to be diplomatic.
Yes, 50-50, you know. Well, I don't blame people because it really is a 50-50 fight, and you know, probably Robbie's a nice lad deep down. I know I'm a nice lad, so you know it's hard when 2 nice lads are fighting each other. You don't really want to back him or back him. Yeah. So the draw. Scott FitzGerald said it was a 50-50. Yes, I'll reason with that. Then. Yeah, and to be fair, so he thought it'd be a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scott's got a tough fight as well with Cheeseman, so it's going to be a very good night of boxing.
Absolutely, it is.
And we are super looking forward to it. We're going to let you go.
No, thank you very much.
Take care. We'll see you. Yeah, we're back. As always a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow at the presser.
Thank you very much.
That's it already.
I know that went like a flash. And you know why? Because we're in a proper fight town.
Woo!
So it's time to hit the street now.
Oh, it's time to hit this.
Yeah? We're all going home. We're going to hit the street. We're going to paint it not red and white. We're going to paint the town black and white. Because right now, we're Geordies.
All day, every day. I've been David Alorka. This is the one and only legendary
Gaz and
Mr.
Geordie
Gaz.
And Geordie Dave.
Listen.
We're hitting the town.
Let them
Come
know.
and join us in the big market.
Hey, listen, make sure you keep it locked to absolutely everything that we've got coming out this week. Big fight week this week. We'll be back at the press conference tomorrow. It's going to be litty in the city.
Let's do it.